Now that we've talked about what it means to have power and what it means to have authority, here's a list of some easy-to-remember characteristics of each kind of leader. You may have already been thinking about some of these as we've been going through the presentation. An authoritative leader, whether at work, home, or in the community, is humble. They do what they do as much for the benefit of everyone else as for themselves. They take and give constructive criticism so they and others are on a path of continuous improvement. Having authority takes hard work. It's not right. It's something that is earned through trust, mutual respect, and being a courageous and selfless person. Being a servant leader and adhering to strong core values helps a person build authority and stay on a positive and productive path. A power leader, on the other hand, whether at work, home, or in the community, leads to low morale and low productivity within a group. The people that choose this path often exhibit strong egos, selfishness, and a belittling attitude. These leaders lead by force, short-sightedness, and anger. Being in control and making others feel inferior are often the rule with these kinds of leaders. This can lead to an unhappy, angry, and low-confidence environment that is not really good for anyone involved. The choice is yours. We all have the ability to be in a position of authority or in a position of power. No matter what role you play, as an employee, as a boss, as a parent, or as a recreational group member, you have the ability to build people up or tear them down. I'm sure we can all think of examples where someone has displayed power or authority characteristics. Let's take a couple of minutes to share these stories with others on the call. And first I'd like to see, is the Grand Rapids, Michigan office on? Grand Rapids.
We're here.
Okay. I'm going to pick on you guys to answer this first question. I'd like you to think of a situation where someone displayed the characteristics of a power leader and share with us what these characteristics were and what effect that they had. How did you or others deal with this situation? Does anyone there that's on the call have a story they'd like to share with us?
I can think of a former boss. I guess that's a safe one to go with.
Okay, yeah, just, don't share any names or anything.
Someone I worked for at a previous federal agency. So that's
okay.
Safe. This particular individual was very big on shouting. That was his favorite management tactic was shouting. And he really loved to belittle people in front of others. He had no problem, basically chewing out an employee in public. Another characteristic he had was that he would tell you to do something, and then when it turned out to be wrong, he would forget that he told you to do it in the first place, and he would blame you for having done what he told you to do. It was a fun individual to work for.
Yeah, and how did people respond to him? What was the environment like in that office?
Well, my response to him was I found another job. Quite frankly, he was not particularly popular with a lot of the people that worked underneath him.
Okay, great. Thanks for sharing that with us. Is there anybody else on the call that would like to share anything, or should we move on? Okay, well, we'll move on to the next question then, and I'm going to pick on Cheyenne. Are you on the call? Cheyenne, Wyoming. Anybody there? You're there? Okay.
I'm here.
Okay. I am going to ask you guys to share a story with us for someone that showed authority characteristics. Again, whether it's at work, at home, in the community. Again, don't mention any names. And what effect did they have? How did you or others respond to this situation? Can you guys there think of any example of this?
I can give an example. Again, as someone in a leadership position in my life, this person was a great listener. Whenever I had a concern or a problem, I was able to go to her and kind of express my my issues or my feelings on a certain situation, and she was able to really listen and give good examples. She really kept her personality out of it and stayed pretty objective and really was able to provide some good examples on how I could move forward and conquer that issue, I guess you can say. And she was really good at identifying strengths and weaknesses in each person, and was really good at working with that person individually. Again, keeping her personality out of it and setting the stage for that person to succeed. And I thought those are really great characteristics of her as an authoritative leader.
Okay, awesome. Thank you very much for sharing with us. Is there anyone else that would like to share anything before we move on? Okay, great. Well, we'll get moving again. As we have said throughout the presentation, we all have the ability to choose, to be a leader through authority or to exert power over people. So we would like to close the discussion with this quote from James Hunter. We must decide if we will choose to serve others or merely serve ourselves.